Let me tell you a story of how I got flown from Singapore to Canada to film a concert for an artist. This was one of the most rewarding experiences of my 23 years of life. I'm going to be sharing with you the entire flight experience because I'm an aviation geek, and also how I set up my crew in Canada despite living in Singapore, how I executed the entire show within 48 hours and came back the moment the show ended. The journey starts in Singapore, roughly in the afternoon on June 26th. The concert is on June 28th. The concert organizing company books me a really nice flight, a Cathay Pacific flight from Singapore to Hong Kong, which lasted about 4 to 5 hours, after which I have a layover in Hong Kong for 4 hours, and then I take a 15-hour flight from Hong Kong to Toronto direct. And for this entire flight, almost 20 hours of flying, I flew economy. But it isn't as bad as you think it might be. From Singapore to Hong Kong, it was quite straightforward. It was a 4 to 5 hour flight and I flew an A350. We took off in the afternoon at about 1 or 1:30, and it was a beautiful flight. I couldn't complain at all. Lovely economy seat, I had great legroom. It was an A350, so it was really quiet. Everything was sleek, it was fresh, it was modern. I had metal cutlery, that's just a nice plus. So I was being treated very well on the flight. The flight attendants basically loved me. I was making good banter with them. And I sat at the back of my row and I had the entire row to myself. So I was stretching my legs, I was putting my bags left and right, I was doing my work. It was a great 4-hour flight. And once I landed in Hong Kong, I set my Wi-Fi up, had some eggs over there, and prepared for the 14-hour flight from Hong Kong to Toronto. But before that, landing in Hong Kong itself was beautiful. Hong Kong's airport is situated amongst mountains. So when you're landing, it's almost like the captain takes you through a journey of the mountains and then brings you into a runway that's in the middle of nowhere. It was honestly one of the most beautiful landings I've ever seen. And after I landed, I hung around the airport for about 3 to 4 hours and prepared myself for the 14-hour leg from Hong Kong to Canada. And this flight is one of the longest flights I've ever been on. I think the only other long flight that I've ever done is from Singapore to San Francisco in 2024. That was a 16-hour flight on United. That shit was horrible. I swear to God, it was a Boeing 787, and the 787, if you put a 333 configuration within a 787, it really isn't that nice. I've seen the Japan Airlines videos where they have the old 787 and they do a 242 configuration, which means that you're getting 8 seats abreast instead of 9 seats. And when United Airlines combined with their shitty flight attendant service, when they try to pack in 9 abreast seats, it becomes so cramped and so fucking tight. And I had to resort to like 3 bottles of wine, like the mini bottles of wine, just to get myself to sleep. Cathay Pacific, 14-hour flight. Let me tell you, this is one of the nicest long-haul flights I've ever been on. The other long-haul flight that I've taken was Ava Air as well, and that shit, that's one of the worst long-haul flights I've ever taken. Even worse than United, but that's a video for another time. So I get on this flight, it's a 14-hour flight, and I'm sitting in the window seat. This gentleman comes up next to me, and he's sitting at the aisle. So I'm waiting for the middle seat person to come in, and the captain just says, doors check, we're all complete. 14-hour flight, empty seat in the middle. I get to put my legs out, The food comes around, food is great. Cathay Pacific is great food selection, nice Hong Kong food, love it. And I can't even remember much from the flight. It was such a pleasant, it's one of those flights that's so good, it felt great to sleep in economy because their seats were so plush. It was A350 as well, so it was really comfortable, really quiet as well. Flight attendants were really lovely as well, and all around, very good long-haul flight experience for 14 hours in economy. So anyway, if you are from the filmmaker batch of the viewers, let's get into how I organize a concert shoot in a completely different country that's halfway across the world. Alright? So before I even head to a different country, I always do my market research. I always go online, I search for the best talents, and I speak to them, I go on Zoom calls to them, I get their rates, and obviously find the lowest bidder and lock them in for the dates. So for this time, I had a crew of about 6 people. There was myself, there was 2 photographers, Jordan and Capuchan. There was another videographer with me, his name was Crown Bloom. Lastly, I had a great filmmaker called Isaiah who flew in from New York. I make sure my expectations on a Zoom call that I have with them, and when they do come through, they more or less end up giving me great products. So the concert is for this artist called Haris Jayaraj. He's a really big legend in the Indian film scene, and he was pulling off his concert in Toronto for the first time through the concert organizer Maestro Productions. I've done many shows with them, and this is just another one in the bucket. They have a certain expectation for the work that I do, and I always make it a point to give the highest quality content. So no matter which country that I am in, I make sure that we deliver the highest quality content. So the very next day, I made sure to go and meet my creatives. I told them the positions for where they had to be during the show within the stadium, gave them the full run brief of how they're supposed to shoot, what kind of lenses they should be on, what kind of movement I'm expecting from their gimbal work. For photo work, I kind of give them an expectation of what I want based on previous concerts that I've done. I give them heavy samples of what I've done in the previous shows that I've shot. They take heavy reference from it, and they gave me similar results. I made a video before outlining how we shot Akon, and I've also made another video on how I organize the crew during a concert. So check out those two videos if you want specifics of how I organize the manpower. Essentially, we have a formula that we follow when we're shooting concerts, and that's it. It's no different for whichever country that we go to. So the concert is done. The concert ends at about 11 p.m. and I check my flight back to Singapore. It's on the very same night, and it's at 1:30 a.m. the next day. So concert ended at 11 p.m. I have about 2 hours to pack my equipment, to pack my luggage, and get to the airport. Luckily, I'd already brought my entire luggage to the arena, so all I have to do is pack my equipment, pack my bag, and get the fuck out of the venue. Head straight to the airport. Uber takes about 45 minutes, and I'm at the airport like sweaty from shooting at the concert, running around, and I want a shower. It's now 12:45 and my flight leaves at 1:30 a.m. I quickly run over to the Cathay Pacific Lounge. I pay $25 to use the shower, quickly take a quick shower, and run outside. I've been doing all this running, trying to rush here and rush there, but now I'm aware that I'm going to have to sit in an economy seat for 14 hours from Toronto to Hong Kong. Now, it's not that bad. I've already just told you how good that seat was flying Cathay Pacific, but it's just a little bit frustrating. It was a little bit frustrating that I had to fly economy for 14 hours after working so hard for the entire weekend. And as I give my ticket to the counter lady at the gate, she tells me to go to the gate on the left. Gate on the left, the boarding entrance, is for business and premium economy. And I'm looking at the gate on the right, and I'm like, are you sure? She looks at me, she asked me to check my ticket, my boarding pass, and it says that I'm premium economy. I was like, what the fuck? I'm premium economy? For real? So I'm ditching the way to the economy route, and now I'm walking inside premium economy and realize I'm on seat 40A or something, which is it's the first row in premium economy with fully extendable legroom, and I'm genuinely enjoying this. I'm walking in, my heart's fully racing, and this is the first time in my life I'm sitting in a premium economy seat. I sound stupid. So I'm exhausted at this point. I'm out of the shower. My hair is still a little bit wet because I can't dry it in time. And I realize it's June 29th. And who's born on June 29th? I'm taking this 14-hour flight, tired as fuck. Just finished the concert. I have a same day edit to do. Like, I need to take all the concert footages that I filmed, edit it up, and submit it back to the company once I land in Hong Kong. I walk in the aircraft, I go to my seat, and I look at that fine fucking premium economy seat. Fellas, check out how Cathay Pacific's premium economy seats look like. They are genuinely one of the best PEs in all of the airlines, right? They're new, they're fresh, they have this beautiful headrest. The seat goes almost flat, you know? The screens are massive. I have this remote on the side to control the TV that once was only reserved for like the Emirates or the SIA flights. And like, my neighbor's pretty chill as well. It's just a 2-seater and toilet's right there. Flight attendants coming and giving me champagne. It's the first time I've ever gotten champagne on a flight. I'm like, holy shit, I can relax on this flight, man. I bust out that massive fucking tray table. I put my laptop in there. I'm like, fuck yeah, take this, man. And I get to work. I'm like so locked in at this point. This seat is so comfortable. I can like basically move everywhere. I'm like king at this point. Move my ass anywhere. Comfortable as hell. And I text the concert organizer, thank you so much for the flight. This is lovely. I love this premium economy seat. I was essentially flying 14 hours during my birthday, and my partner calls up the airlines and tries to organize the flight to give me a cake mid-flight. It was very sweet of her, but somehow or another the cake didn't go through because they didn't have stock for cake to give me on the flight. But the flight attendant noted that was my birthday, and she came around with this like lovely tart and this amenities kit with like the Cathay Pacific toy plane and all that. It was so cute. And I felt so taken care of that entire flight. They gave me extra blankets. They were looking after me. And this lady, this flight attendant, she was so nice. She was like a mid-30s, like late 30s, early 40s looking woman. Her name was Jane or Janice or something. Lovely, lovely woman. And she took such care of me. And I've never felt so much pampered on a flight before. It just got me thinking, like, what the fuck does business class flights feel like, right? PE already felt this great, and I bashed out the entire flight, gave it to them the moment I landed. It was such a nice flight. It made me love flying and like traveling even more. Like that one PE seat was all I needed to just feel rejuvenated again. And this taught me something very important, like it's okay to pamper yourself once in a while. That one PE flight and how good I felt during that flight made me think twice about how I should spend money on myself. I've flown to Sydney about 6 times in 2025. About 5 of those flights were using Scoot. So I flew 7 hours on, again, like a Boeing 787 that's very, very cramped. The seats aren't good. You don't get any recline. It's a very torturous 7-hour Scoot flight. But I flew that again and again for the cheapest price because I thought that I don't need such an exuberant flight just to fly 7 hours to Sydney. But after that PE flight that I took, I was like, shit, man, it's actually just really nice to take care of yourself. Yeah, I didn't buy that for myself, but it was just nice to feel taken care of. So I thought, why don't I take care of myself a bit more? Final Sydney flight that I took from Singapore in 2025, I splurged and bought myself a Qantas flight to Sydney. And I flew in an A380. It was a nicer economy seat, and it was like equivalent to a PE seat. Like Qantas economy is really, really nice, especially the A380s. They're really good. I thoroughly enjoyed myself on that flight. It felt really, really good to pamper myself. I flew a Boeing 777 back from Hong Kong to Singapore. It was alright, it was good. But that PE flight really changed my life, and like now I have this urge to fly PE every single place I go. I put aside more money just so I can fly better. Really, really value flying. I love traveling. I flew 36 flights last year in 2025. I flew 2 flights already this year in January. I don't know what that was for you to learn in this video. If there's one thing for you to take back from this video, it's just to pamper yourself a bit more. Even if you don't have the money to take care of yourself, go and find some way, save some money, get an expensive flight ticket for yourself, or buy like a nice watch for yourself, I guess. It will feel really, really nice, because when you feel taken care of by yourself in your own hands, it will feel really fulfilling. I want to fly business class from Singapore to Sydney once. I want to fly business from Singapore to San Francisco, and I want to fly PE from Singapore to New York. All 3 of these on Singapore Airlines. Yeah, that's all for today. I will do more flight reviews as I go along. So yeah, see you, champ.